Listen, Cleveland Browns fans, we have to talk about what is happening in the backfield, because my heart cannot take another season of what-ifs and late-season collapses. We all saw what happened to Quinshon Judkins back in December, and it was one of those moments where the entire city of Cleveland just went silent. This kid is a rising star and the cornerstone of our future. But that injury was absolutely gruesome, and it changed everything for this upcoming year. We need to be honest with ourselves about where this team stands right now, and whether we are truly prepared for a deep run. The Cleveland Browns have never been shy about adding massive weapons to this offensive arsenal, but there is a pattern here that is starting to get a little bit scary. Every single year it feels like we find ourselves in the exact same position where the injury bug strikes, and we are left scrambling for any kind of proven depth to carry the load. I am not even trying to be a pessimist here, but look at the history of this franchise and the physical toll the AFC North takes on every player on that roster. We play in the toughest, most physical division in football, and you simply cannot survive with a thin depth chart at the running back position. Quinshon Judkins is special, and we all know he has the talent to be the best in the league, but he is coming off a major setback that would sideline a veteran, let alone a young guy entering his second year. The news coming out of Berea has been cautiously optimistic, but we have heard that story before, and I am starting to feel that familiar sense of dread. We have a roster that is built to win right now, and if we do not address the void behind Judkins, we are basically playing with fire. The fans in the Dawg Pound deserve better than a season that gets derailed, because we did not have a plan B at the most punishing position on the field. This is not just about filling a roster spot. It is about protecting our investment and making sure this window of opportunity does not slam shut on us. I want to believe we are ready, but my gut is telling me that something bigger is coming now. This is where things start to get really interesting, because if the Cleveland Browns want to jump the gun and ensure they have a proven option, they might be looking at a major trade. If Quinshon Judkins is not 100% by the time training camp rolls around, we cannot just cross our fingers and hope for the best. The team currently has Dylan Sampson as a second-year option, and while he has some flashes of potential, he is still incredibly unproven in this league. Honestly, I am not going to lie. The idea of banking our entire season on Dylan Sampson carrying the load if Judkins is not ready really worries me. We have taken the affordable but unproven route before, and it has come back to bite Cleveland when it matters most in December and January. That is why the rumors about trading for James Conner of the Arizona Cardinals are starting to pick up a lot of steam lately. James Conner is currently sitting as the third-string running back for the Cardinals after they went out and got Tyler Algier, which is just wild when you think about his production. Trading for a guy like Conner would give the Cleveland Browns an immediate and proven upgrade at the position that would instantly offset the absence of Judkins. Think about the peace of mind that brings to the coaching staff and the rest of the offense. You would have a guy who has been a lead back in this league and knows how to find the end zone. This move makes so much sense, because it takes the pressure off our young star to rush back before his body is truly ready. We have seen too many players come back too early and ruin their long-term health, and I do not want to see that happen to Judkins. The Browns front office is known for being aggressive when they see a hole in the roster, and this feels like a classic Andrew Berry move to shore up a weakness before it becomes a disaster. This offseason is getting absolutely insane, and the possibility of adding a physical runner like Conner is something that fans are not truly ready for yet. It changes everything. Hit subscribe right now, because this offseason is getting insane and you do not want to miss any of these updates. One thing that I think a lot of fans have completely overlooked is just how severe that injury to Quinshon Judkins actually was back in December. We are talking about a guy who suffered not only a dislocated ankle but also a fractured fibula, which is a massive amount of trauma for any player to deal with. He is only entering his second year with the Cleveland Browns, and this kind of injury for a running back at any age could definitely impact their explosiveness upon return. We have to be realistic about the timeline, because this injury occurred less than 6 months ago, and that is a very short window for a recovery of this magnitude. While the surgery was successful and everything seems to be on track, there is absolutely no sense in rushing him back, given how much success he had when he was healthy. That is exactly where the James Conner conversation becomes so vital to the success of this team in 2026. Not only would James Conner give the Cleveland Browns some much-needed insurance heading into the early stages of the season, but he is also on an incredibly affordable contract that fits our cap situation. Conner is only due $2.1 million in guaranteed money this season after his deal was restructured back in March, which makes him an absolute bargain for a player of his caliber. When you look at the economics of the NFL, finding a veteran with his experience for that price is almost unheard of, and it would be a masterclass in roster management. The Browns have the draft capital and the motivation to make a deal like this happen without blinking. I am telling you right now that the medical staff is going to be very conservative with Judkins, because he is the future of the franchise, and having Connor there allows them to be as patient as they need to be. It is a win-win situation for everyone involved because Connor gets a chance to play for a contender, and we get a reliable hammer in the backfield. I am starting to feel like this is the missing piece that everyone is ignoring while they focus on other positions. We need toughness. We need to win the division and build a real powerhouse in the backfield with a veteran leader like him. The real beauty of adding someone like James Conner is what he actually brings to the field in terms of his specific style of play. One big positive is his physical style as a downhill runner who just loves to initiate contact and move the chains. The Cleveland Browns absolutely love their downhill runners, and Conner excels in those tough short yardage situations, and especially in the red zone where games are won or lost. He still possesses that legendary toughness and grit that he has shown throughout his entire career. And that is something he can instill in both Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson within their rotation. Having a veteran leader in that room who has seen it all is invaluable for the development of our younger players. But here is where things get really serious for the Browns offense as a whole. We completely revamped our offensive line during the offseason and in the draft to ensure the utmost protection for our quarterback, but a huge part of that protection comes from the running backs. James Conner brings elite veteran pass blocking ability to the field because he understands complex protections and knows exactly when to pick up blitzes from the edge. That is a skill that young backs like Judkins and Sampson are still developing, and having Conner there could literally save our quarterback from taking unnecessary hits. Any help that the Cleveland Browns can bring in to help this offense stay on track and increase scoring is going to be welcomed with open arms by the coaching staff. For James Conner, he brings reliability and stable production even at 31 years old, which is a testament to his work ethic and preparation. In 2025, he did see a significant drop-off in production prior to his season-ending injury, posting 95 yards on 32 carries in 3 games. But that was more about the situation in Arizona than his own ability. He has fully recovered from his foot surgery and is ready to go heading into this season with a chip on his shoulder. If the Cleveland Browns want to play it safe with Quinshon Judkins and avoid a potential disaster, James Conner is the most logical trade target on the market. This move could be the definitive difference maker for us during the toughest stretch of our entire schedule ahead. This offseason is far from over and the tension is building as we get closer to training camp and the reality of our backfield situation sets in. We are standing at a crossroads where one right move could lead to a deep playoff run while a single injury could ruin everything we have worked for. The front office has a chance to be proactive and bring in a veteran who fits the culture of the Dawg Pound perfectly. James Conner is a fighter and a proven winner who would give this offense the stability it needs while Quinshon Judkins recovers. I want to hear from all of you in the comments because your opinion matters to this community. Do you think the Cleveland Browns should pull the trigger on a trade for James Conner to protect the future of Quinshon Judkins, or should we trust our young guys to step up? This team is on the verge of greatness and we need to stay connected as the news breaks. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you love the Browns as much as I do. Go Browns! We are in this together. Forever.